Lightworker, welcome to my channel. My name is George Lizas. I'm a spiritual teacher, psychic healer, and the #1 best-selling author of Be the Guru, Lightworkers Gotta Work, and Protect Your Light. And welcome to another card deck unboxing and review. Today, I'll be unboxing and reviewing Ari Wisner's new card deck with Hay House called Transient Light Tarot. Now, this tarot deck is quite different from your usual tarot deck for a few reasons. Firstly, it is completely plastic free. So it's all made out of paper and it actually feels like the bark of a tree. It's very natural, which is something I instantly love about it, and that's why I wanted to guide you through it. Also, it's a genderless tarot. All the different names of the cards that included genders, such as, for example, the High Priestess or the Emperor or the Empress, have been changed to completely gender-neutral names. So, shall we go through it? So this is the front cover, which is gorgeous. You can see the back as well. There is poetry by Foster Jolie as well. And let's read a little bit in the back just to understand what this deck is all about. Rediscover your own wisdom. Inspired by the beauty of transience, this powerful tarot invites you to embrace the spirit of growth and celebrate our limitless collective connection. By tuning into the magic of the cards, you'll discover your own wisdom and opportunities for healing, reflection, and authenticity. So let's open the deck and find out more about it. So I always like to look on the inside of the cover because there's something beautiful here. Here's some poetry. Come, sit in the present, nestled in the neck of an hourglass, the future overhead, the past below. Reach out your cupped hands into the stream of falling sand, simultaneously receiving, holding, and letting go with gratitude as the golden thread of time spools and spills through your fingers. Now, this poem talks about an hourglass, and it's not coincidental because the back design of the cards shows this hourglass, symbolizing the transience, the change of life. Now, before we go through the cards, I want to go through the guidebook over here so you can see how it looks like. And I want to read you something. So first of all, this was first self-published. Ari self-published this during the lockdown, and then it was eventually published by Hay House. So let's read a little bit here about what this card deck is and how it's different from traditional tarot or other tarot decks. So this tarot deck is inspired by the sublime nature of transience. Although temporary, our current life can facilitate something more universally connected and priceless. Whether change is joyful or painful, it is followed by a new beginning where we can find wisdom and opportunity to heal and grow. With a spirit of growth, we can shift our focus from the darkness of loss to the light of transience. It's the very fragility of life that makes it precious. If we have just a spark from the universe within us, what a deliciously brief life this is. This deck was born out of my own journey towards embracing inevitable endings. Growing up in a very religious context, I learned to fear darkness and deny the idea of mortality. But my spiritual journey of loss, love, and self-discovery brought a new peace, a place where I endeavored to replace fear with acceptance, regret with gratitude, and insecurity with inner strength. What a beautiful introduction to this deck. And this is very similar to my own journey of going from organized dogmatic religion to spirituality and intuition. Now you can see inside there are descriptions and messages for each card, although Ari encourages you to make these interpretations your own. And there are a few spreads in the end to give you some inspiration. By the way, there are 3 extra cards in this deck. So it's an 81 card tarot deck. There's a past, present, and future card, and we're gonna see that soon, actually now. Okay, let's go through all the cards just so you can see how they look like. So you've seen the back cover already showing the hourglass. And we start with the major arcana. We start with the Fool, and what you'll realize is that all the cards are gender neutral. And where there were names that had a gender, they were changed. For example, the High Priestess is the revealer. The Empress is the nurturer. The Emperor is the defender. The Hierophant is the proclaimer. Also, what you'll notice is that the color palette is consistent. It's the same colors used over and over again. So there are certain decks where you interpret the colors and the shades of the colors, etc. But this deck is primarily focused on the symbolism. So that's how you would want to read them primarily. So looking at the symbols and using your intuition to interpret them. And I'm curious, I'm gonna do a reading in the end, a collective reading for everyone watching this right now. And I'm curious to see how I read the cards, because usually I look at the genders, I look at the colors, I look beyond just the names and the symbols, and I interpret everything that comes with it. So I'm very interested to see like how my own intuition will interpret the cards. We go into the wands. I actually love the consistency of the colors. It just brings it all together. Like design-wise, they're very beautiful and they have a very beautiful feel to them. It's completely like made out of paper. There's no plastic. There is not the usual like gloss that you see on many plastic decks. It has a very natural feel. And what I like about the vessels is that you'll notice it's not just cups. So here we have cups, but here we have different vessels. I find this so much fun. Like a basket is part of the vessels as well, and boxes. It's so unique. 9 of vessels and 10 of vessels. We have gifts. And here you'll see, this is the page in traditional tarot, the page of cups, but it's the apprentice of vessels. And the knight is the champion of vessels. The queen is the keeper of vessels, and the king is the crown of vessels. So we're moving into the swords. I like the butterfly here, and I wonder what this symbolizes. I guess it has to do with change, but I'm curious to see why it's connected to the swords. Or was it in the other suits as well, and I just haven't noticed yet? And you can see the eye is in every single detail here. I'm guessing there is another significance behind that. I'm gonna have Ari on my podcast, so I'm gonna make sure to ask them. We move into the coins. In traditional tarot, they're the pentacles. I don't see any butterflies or the eyes. So I guess those were symbols connected to the vessels. And by the way, Ari designed all of that themselves. They are a graphic designer and illustrator. Here we go. The crown of coins. And then we have the last 3 cards: past, present, and future. I'm curious to see what the symbolism is. There is a connection there. There you go. Do you see them all together? It's the DNA strand. Beautiful. I love it. It's one picture actually. Oh, it's one picture that continues. Okay, so past we're digging, present we're planting, future the trees grow. I love that. I love the continuity of this. Makes perfect sense. Okay, so shall we do a collective reading? So I'm shuffling the deck and I'm asking for a collective reading for everyone watching this right now. And I'm gonna do a simple 1-card reading and see what the message is for us. And by the way, how have you enjoyed this deck? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious to hear how you enjoyed all these differences, the fact that it's gender neutral, for example, and certain names have been changed, and there are 3 extra cards. Do you like this? Do you not like this? Why? Let us know in the comments. Okay, so here's your card. The Ace of Wands. It's time for you to bring a desire that you've always had, but you thought the world will reject, that you thought your parents wouldn't accept, that you thought society would judge, and bring it into the forefront of your life right now. It's time for you to follow that number one desire that you've always wanted to follow, but you haven't yet found the courage to do so. The universe, your spirit guides are here to tell you that you have what it takes to make it work. When you show up for you, the universe shows up for you as well. The reason that desire is within you is because you are the perfect vessel for you to take it and manifest it into the world. The universe, source, wouldn't have given you that desire if you didn't have it within you. And trust that when you take action step forward, you will eventually create a powerful momentum of energy that will propel you forward and that will propel your desire into manifestation. It's time for you to follow your purpose, Lightworker. It's time for you to rise up, stand up for who you are, for your beliefs, for your desires, and make it work. It's time for you to change the world. So here we are, the Transient Light Tarot by Ari Wisner. I absolutely love the deck and how different it is from the other tarot decks or oracle card decks that I use. Make sure to get this deck if you enjoyed it and work with it. Make sure to reach out to me in the comments and Ari and let us know how you enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next card or tarot deck review.